whatever. This one could probably go in the garage. It's a garage book. It's about garage things. I don't know. It could be anything. Couldn't it? A grimoire with sandpaper. A sandpaper cover. Looks a bit like old skin or something. There. Little book. I don't know. Scrapbook. It's made from scrap. Could be anything really. I've got a scrapbook upstairs actually that I've made. I found the other day that we can start sticking free drawing in, not just. So I mean, we've got a different. You know, it's just different things again, isn't it? This one isn't for scribbling in. You've got a colouring book now. You can do free time in. A rough book for, you know, just doing scratching or whatever. Drawn this bit of paper for this. I've gone over. Besides this, I just want to show you that. I can keep looking till I find that bloody book now since I've gone over. I'll never find it. Probably not. It's for competition though. That's just the thing we say now. We've got to do it the best we can. We're going to put it in a competition. Who really? I don't know. That's when you do your best work though, isn't it? For a competition. We have loads of competitions up this way. We don't always enter them though. Make anything you want for a competition. I'll tell you what I was thinking about. I wanted this yesterday because, I'll tell you why. I was going to make a toilet roll and some chairs for the house by cutting them down because they'd be circular. I think I'd need something like this to use as cushions, but it wouldn't really work. Sponge though, I suppose. Or you could then squash it into a square shape, couldn't you? How did we make the slipper socks? Well, what do you mean? I showed you the other day how I fold my socks. They were walking socks, which I've now shoved into the washing machine. I do these clean ones, but do it with the actual ones. For Christ's sake, they're wet now because we had to put them inside the trainers that come out of the washing machine to soak some of the water out and wear the trainers to go to the park. So that's the sock. And you tuck the insides right down. Now I was saying afterwards what I could do is sew the toes up and then push them through. But these were the right size for her feet. So they try and make it so it's quite comfy, flat. She's gone home and done it with all the socks. I can imagine she would do. And then put the foot in like that. And then we had a load of hairbands, which I just put round over her foot. Just one, just the elastic to hold it onto her foot while she was running around the house. Mostly because last time she was here, the dog smashed that plate and she trod on that glass. So I thought slippers might be handy. So we just did that yesterday, which worked pretty well. And when we went out, she wore them in the shoes. Just pulled them up in the end because they wouldn't quite go in her shoes, doubled up. But I wanted them to be fit to soak up the water out of the things and then keep her socks dry for going home. And then they look like little leg warmers. And my friend out the back goes, "Oh, you look like a street dancer with your..." And she did. Which is something I hadn't thought. So That was pretty good. We got to wear wet shoes as well, which is another skill you need to have with children, especially if they go jumping in puddles and then don't want to walk in their wet shoes. Well, do you know what? Who cares? You've got street dancer shoes on now. What have I written all over the wall? And that was the other day when my phone went wrong. What have I written? Pan says, take as he finds. Pan says, take as he finds. We all marry blind. Ask too many questions, I'll leave you behind. Good for Pan. We didn't marry because I looked kind. He saw me tan that kid's behind. He took a note to Tiny Pan. If she beats a child, she'll kill a man. I know, that's pretty funny as well, wasn't it? And what's this one? Oh, no, I'm not going to read that one. It's too rude. Okay, I'll read it then. If you fuck my husband on the low, I'll fuck yours back twice as slow. I'll fuck him quietly on the rack till his dick is soft and I'll send him back. It just came. It just came because you know why. Someone broke my phone chargers and I was annoyed. So I started writing. I wrote a load of poetry in a book upstairs as well. I just got started on it. What if you marry the same man? Well, who cares? Do you know what? It's just poems. It's just poems. Verse. It's just verse. Adverse, probably. Where's a fucking book? What a fucking little book. I can't stop swearing, no. It's Pan season. It's Pangolian season. It's October. The spirits, the veil's thinning. I'm not really cross about it, I'm just annoyed I can't show you. I can't remember where I've put it. That's my biggest problem. It was so cute. It's like, well, you know what, it's no different to that one I just made. I wrote one about a fox as well. So don't we read it? It's about the fox. Foxes eat chickens! You know what that means, don't you? People are scared. I started off doing some word search because I had nothing else to do. And then I just felt like writing some poetry. Well, versing. I was versing my... Look here to art, description, disclosure. I find myself solidified in... What? Indignant, dear Claude. So I sit with the Duchess, the scribe and the oak. Tuffling with Sandy, hapless attitude. I can't read my own writing. And lesser persuasions to force and flow, redraft the horse as it were. I find myself, my mind and my ridiculous weak ability to resist following and serving my most petty ambitions, that to capture your heart, your soul and your fastidious attention to the brutalities of truth. Excerpt from a booth I never write. A booth? A book. And then I started writing like, I often do this. I did it before, didn't I? Well, letters back and forth between people and in a group. To read them. Dear Aston, I haven't... It was just triggered by this. This is something I did another time, not yesterday. Dear Aston, this fetid pig of a solid heart, this black, dank yearning for conformity, what does it want from me? To be stain or salvage, this weeping abscess of desire, half dead, half felt. Where is it taking me? Neither sombre nor gifting altitude. I think altitude. A drumbrance of neither hope nor loss, scrambling, disparaging, half-hearted, refusing to conform, still static and resolute, like some stagnant, crepid, linguistic hoax, boasting of intellect without fancy nor faith. Serendipitous, sanguine and sultry, a damp cat of despair, you pitching pithy and pious ass, write to me and return my shoes, Maud, kiss. My dearest Maud, how was this started? I just started writing and then it just came. My dearest Maud, I hope my squally little tattle finds you well. Your heart lifted as high as your relinquished septic corrosion of literacy left my spirits. Your shoes, I'm afraid, I put to the fire, heated the kettle and warmed my soul. This furbish tootle of indolence is promised to only remembrance of passion we may have openly shared, to my shame. Do not waste ink, time, nor wefted oak, returning sentiment. Yours in authority, Aston Lanks. Dearest Celia, Aston has taken to hermitude with rigour. Send a carriage and 12 cases of ruby scotch, a roll of cheese and 1 bag of apples. I'm planning on returning to Sicily for the remainder of the season. Garthwaite sending word as sergeant's room is vacant, and Claster have been advertising for stationary positions. As you know, stationary positions I can hold, with or without my shoes. You're in dereliction and faith, Maud. Crispin, at ease, old fellow. That wrangled old bat Morrow won't stop prattling and prancing like some putrefying half-win for the simplest of tasks. Become lessons in pragmatic deformity. I'm sluicing all containment of contaminated old Harridan from my sooth, and have burned the wretched shoes. Taken fully to hermitude. Hermitude? Well, not... I can't read that. Reconwitting this. I can't read it. And plenty of forced disclosures. Shall be at the cottage in Hemsby from Wednesday. The wrens are sitting in the box, and the herringull dips its head. Salutations, scripplings. You may return, Archie. Bruce. I think some of these people just end up using like fake names as well to each other. That was the idea anyway. It's like a circle of friends. I've been reading The Sea. I was Murdocking it, like the university, the old fellows thing. Bruce, I hope we find you well, you sanguine old pith. Arching as only fair-clothed might, we are planning on taking Hemsby for fortitude and fastidious flumpling. The shoes have driven Crombie over the edge, and Morrow's left for Florence. This capitulating shift in that ardour is resemblance to that snapped gear throttle, jammed too hard and clanking, grating, loosely grafted in insanity, but still blowing at the shallow bowl, rocking cup of humid devotion. Their platitude and self-developed egos set crumples stigwort in the realms of normality. Send no word, for I am transiting forthwith. Creston. Crispin, in dissolution, I found myself writing to you for no reason other than fancy. This thing that has become the marriage of our friends speak of neither closure nor clemency. The damp squab, yet heated flurries, attentive, twitching, spasmodic sulphur, they both insist on trachymordi, is oh God, how do you say that word? Superfluous. How do you say it? Superfluous. How do you say that word? And semaphoric of adolescent craptitudes. Alice herself was more demure, and Alice was a hate-filled temptress, intent on glassifying every sodden acre of nonconformity, a sphincter of Sodom, and a goalless grappling giant of a whip-speed crankshaft. Alice was a mouse of a louse, a left-wing bigot, dressed in snakeskin with 3 moleskin hats. She flew near gracious word nor kindly thought to any solid-winged green beaver nor bear, a hollow, heartless hoax for human, and I still miss her interpretation of Faust in memoriam. Her succour, though, matched her artless skills at the stove. We spent 3 weeks in Crawley once, and I had to send out for help 3 times. Yours in conservation of practice, Felicity. That's what I wrote on that, and I got bored. And then I just did that the other day, which was just me being annoyed. Disguised my FBI. I know. Every strike was a phrase. It was. I was just thinking of something. I didn't want to, because I knew you were watching through the sky peeping holes. And then I just started writing again, because that other meme had came up. He's cheating about, you know, if a man comes home to this, is he allowed to cheat? It's a woman sitting there, like, stuff in her face, a heavy-boned woman. I thought, you know, maybe she works nights, we don't know. Anyway, so I was stewing over cheating. If cheating is in his nature, he will, in his karmic release program, It will be. And then a man who cheats his wife will land a wife who cheats. And then I just started writing about Samantha Fox. Samantha Fox, who chipped the locks, had her husband on the blocks. The ruddy sod, a heathen god, forgot his manners and on the rug. He's also a fox. It's about 2 foxes, not the actual Samantha Fox. The vixen, though, puts on a show, slinks in the shadows, nice and slow, creeps about the fields at night, hears a husband cry, "Hold me tight!" Foxes scream, don't they, like babies. It seems quite soon the dog forgot, dog fox, who he was, had chipped the lock. I say that again. It seems quite soon the dog forgot who it was had chipped the lock. The hound set off, stepped to the horn. The dog fox ran through scuff and thorn. The vixen, though, sat in the dell, sat upright with ink and pen. She wrote a card to dear old Pan, and said, "Please shake and scare that man." To Pan's delight, she wrote it light. The veil was thin, he sent a sprite, a nice young thing, cooled like a spring. She really was a spunky thing. Whatever sort of curse is that? A bouncy castle when feeling flat. I'll tell you, though, in a day or two, after penning Sprite's number through. Pan, he also loves the cat, the stay-at-home spread on the mat, the cat that lays about the house and bakes beans to spare the mouse. Say that bit again. Pan, he also loves the cat, the stay-at-home spread on the mat, the cat that lays about the house and eats baked beans to spare the mouse. It was just triggered by that meme. And then I started writing on the walls. And that was the end of the story. The Pan's in the picture. You can do what you want, really, can't you? It's Drew. It's Halloween. I've done some tidying up. Stop being mean to me. Where's my bloody book I made? We can't all drink pink lemonade. Oh, gosh, she's rhyming again. That's it. That's all I had to say. I've got to do my exercises and do some more tidying up. We love this. We love it so much. Yes, I just wrote it. I wrote it by myself. What's the 74? Well, I can't remember where the 7 and the 4 came up. They add to 11, don't they? 7 was my number. That's right. 7 mature, riding with 4 probably. And then I was just doing 7s and 4s. So that's the 7 up and down. And it looks like I was just playing with that really. The other day. And this was, what was this? I was trying to draw Stephen the Mouse, and then it was like the 3 phases of the moon thing. Because I did his, first of all, see, I did his ears in that way, and then I just decided to do that. And then that was just the Scorpio. The Scorpio thing looked like his tail. I was just playing with, what's it called? Iconography. What's it called? When you make... What's it called? I forgot what it's called. When you make things for, say, businesses. Icons. What's it called? I've forgotten. Oh. You know what I mean, anyway. Why does it say EDF? Oh, the energy people are coming to do the meetings on the 23rd of August. I just had this to hand. Crispin. In dissolution, I find myself writing to you for no reason other than fancy. This thing that's become the marriage of our friends speaks of neither closure nor clemency. The damp squab, yet heated flurries of tensive, twitching, spasmodic sulphur, they both insist on trachymordi, is superficious and semaphoric of adolescent gratitudes. Alice herself was more demure, and as was a hate-filled temptress intent on glassifying every sodden acre of nonconformity, a sphincter of Sodom and a goalless, grappling grunt of a whip-speed crankshaft. Alice was a mouse, a louse, and a left-wing bigot, dressed in snakeskin with 3 moleskin hats. She flew near gracious word nor kindly thought to any solid winged green beaver nor heart, no bear, a hollow, heartless hoax of a human, and I still miss her interpretation of Faust in memoriam. Her succour, though, match her art, the skills at the stove. We spent 3 weeks in Crawley once, I had to send out for healthy times. Yours in conservation of practice, Felicity. I think I was thinking as well of how it's a fire sort of, that sort of thing, mixed with the sea. Read the first page again. Right from the beginning. Well, this is what started it, wasn't it? On the creative art of descriptive disclosure. Say it properly. On the creative art of descriptive disclosure, I find myself solidified and indignant, dear Claude. So I sit with the Duchess, the scribe and the oak, tuffling with sordid, hapless attitude and lesser persuasions to force and flow, redraft the horse, as it were. I find myself, my mind and my ridiculous weak ability to resist, fallowing and serving my most petty ambitions, that to capture your heart, your soul and your fastidious attention to the brutalities of truth. Excerpt from a book I'll never write. Dear Aston, this fetid pig of a solid heart, this black, dank yearning for conformity, what does it want from me? To be stained or salvaged, this weeping abscess of desire, half dead, half felt. Where is it taking me? Neither sombre nor gifting altitude, a drumbearance of neither hope nor near loss, scrambling, disparaging and half-hearted, refusing to conform, still static and resolute like some stagnant, crepit, linguistic hoax, boasting of intellect. Host would be good enough, wouldn't it? Without fancy nor faith, serendipitous, sanguine and sultry, a damp cat of despair, you pitching, pithy and pious arse, write to me and return my shoes. Maud. My dearest Maud, I hope my squally little tattle finds you well, your heart lifted as high as your relinquished septic corrosion of literacy left my spirits. Your shoes, I'm afraid, I put to the fire, heated the kettle, and warmed my soul. This furbished throttle of indolence is pumice to any resemblance of passion we may openly have shared. To my shame, do not waste ink, time, nor wefted oak returning sentiments. Yours in authority, Aston Langs. He hasn't burnt the shoes, he's still got them, he's just using them, but she knows this. Dearest Celia, Aston has taken to hermitude with rigour. She's winding him up using the shoes as a thing, but he's too thick to realise it. Dear Celia, they're the married pair, I think. Aston has taken to hermitude with rigour. Send a carriage and 12 cases of ruby scotch to him. She wants him to get fucked up and pissed. She knows him like an indoor outhouse. So she's sending a parcel. He wants to go in and get wrecked up, so she's sending everything to him to do it. And then she'll keep going on about the shoes, probably. But while she's over in... Where's she gone? Sicily. She's off to Sicily to, do more stylish things. Dearest Celia, Aston has taken to hermitude with rigour. Send a carriage and 12 cases of ruby scotch, a roll of cheese. She wants him to have a fucking heart attack. A bag of apples, because, I don't know, it's a joke about the horse, probably. I'm planning on returning to Sicily for the remainder of the season. Garth wrote, sending word that Sergeant's room is vacant and Claster have been advertising for stationary positions. As you know, stationary positions I can hold with or without my shoes. Yours in dereliction and faith, Maud. Crispin, at ease, old fellow. That wrangled old bat, Morrow, won't stop prattling and dancing like some putrefying half-wimple. The simplest of tasks become lessons in pragmatic deformity. I'm sluicing all containment of the contaminated old harridan from my sofa and have burned the wretched shoes, taken fully to hermitude. Heritude, it said? Heritude. not recounting this, and plenty of forced disclosures. I shall be at the cottage in Hemsby from Wednesday. The wrens are sitting in the box. The herringull dips its head. Salutations, scripplings. You may return, Archie. He wants him to write back or meet him at the cottage. Keep reading. Oh, I can't be bothered. Bruce. I can't remember why it was Bruce. I'll tell you why it was Bruce, because Bruce was the other hedgehog that was the lover of Stwinkle. Bruce is this hedgehog. The hard one. It's true. The tough nut brother of Stwinkle. But they were married. So he got drawn in. He got drawn into it. His catnip toy. I love that. I'm going. I've had enough of this. I need to do my exercises and walk the dog and cook those potatoes. Find that damn book. Shoes could be anything. That's why it's best just to give things back to people. I'm going now. I've got to drink my tea.